Do you ever feel like your mind is just uh, a relentless chatterbox?
Constantly, right?
Yeah, constantly replaying yesterday's worries, or maybe drafting tomorrow's impossible to-do list, or just generally pulling you in a million directions.
It happens.
It's so easy to get caught up in all that mental noise, isn't it? And you miss the quiet beauty of what's happening right here, right now.
Absolutely. You're physically there, but mentally miles away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what if there was a practical, like a really powerful way to quiet that noise, to find some actual peace right in this moment every single day?
It almost sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Like some kind of magic trick.
It does.
But it's not magic. It's actually a skill you can cultivate, and that's precisely the journey we're going to start today.
Okay, great. So this deep dive is all about healthy mindfulness practices. Be present daily for greater peace. And our mission really is to kind of strip away the common ideas, the misconceptions maybe around mindfulness.
Yeah, there are quite a few.
And then really show why it's so vital for your overall well-being. And then crucially, give you some actionable real-world ways you can actually weave it into your daily life for tangible peace, mental clarity.
Let's do it. Cut through the buzzwords.
Right. So when you hear mindfulness, what immediately comes to mind for most people, I often think of like silent retreats or trying to totally empty your mind.
Yeah, that's a really common picture. People think it means you have to sit silently for hours or, achieve some blank state, zone out completely.
Is that it? Shutting off your thoughts?
Well, that's where the clarification is so important. The core idea, especially as Jon Kabat-Zinn puts it, isn't about silencing your mind at all. It's not about stopping thoughts.
Okay, so what is it then?
He defines it as awareness that arises through paying attention, on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally.
Non-judgmentally. That phrase really jumps out. It feels like the key part.
It really is.
So it's not stopping thoughts, but changing how you relate to them. How does that actually work, that non-judgmental piece? Especially if someone's really stuck in like self-criticism or anxiety.
That's such a crucial question because that non-judgmental part, that's where the real work and honestly, the real freedom starts. See, our brains have this kind of default mode. Kabat-Zinn calls it the selfing narrative.
Selfing?
Yeah, it's that constant story of I, me, mine, We're the main character in this endless internal movie.
Right, okay, I get that.
And we often forget that this whole me story is mostly a mental construction. It's a product of thought, not necessarily, absolute reality. But we get swept away by it.
Totally.
Just think, how much of your day do you think you spend caught up in that internal monologue, that me show?
Oh, probably way too much if I'm honest.
Right. So mindfulness is about noticing this mental construction, this internal chatter, without getting tangled up in it, without labeling it good or bad, and crucially, without judging yourself for having the thoughts in the first place. It's more like watching clouds drift by in the sky, rather than, say, jumping onto a dark storm cloud and letting it carry you off somewhere miserable.
So you're not trying to stop the movie playing in your head, but you're recognizing you're the observer. Maybe the projectionist even, instead of just being lost in the character on screen.
Exactly. You're creating a little bit of space.
It's about being really aware, intensely aware of your sensations, your feelings as they happen in the moment without layering on all the interpretation or judgment.
That's the essence.
That feels like a huge shift in perspective, especially for those of us who tend to overthink everything.
It is profound.
Okay, so we've kind of unpacked what mindfulness is, moving beyond the buzzword, but let's get to the so what. For someone listening who's juggling a million things, a demanding life, why should they carve out time for this? What's the actual real-world impact?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the benefits are incredibly wide-ranging and really relatable. First off, think about your relationships.
Okay. How does being present help there?
Well, when you cultivate true presence, you stop just waiting for your turn to talk, right? Or silently judging what the other person's saying.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
We all are. You kind of disarm that part of your brain that's already busy composing your brilliant reply or filtering everything through your own stuff. Mindfulness helps you truly receive what they're saying, to listen actively, empathetically.
So you're actually hearing them, not just your reaction to them.
Precisely. And that naturally fosters deeper understanding, stronger bonds. It allows for more acceptance, even of each other's quirks and flaws. Imagine how the quality of your connections could improve if you were just truly there for people.
That's powerful. How many times are we physically with someone, but Like you said, mentally miles away.
Hmm.
It really could be a game changer for connection.
Absolutely. And it totally extends to your inner world, too. Presence leads to significant stress and anxiety reduction.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, think about it. A huge chunk of our daily stress comes from replaying past regrets, right? Or endlessly worrying about future what-ifs.
Yep, the mental time travel.
Exactly. When you anchor yourself in the present moment, you literally cut the fuel line to a lot of that tension. You start to break those cycles of negative rumination, that downward spiral of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we see a direct impact, reducing overall stress, lessening symptoms of anxiety, even depression. Many people actually turn to mindfulness during really tough times, like dealing with severe anxiety, and find it's an incredibly powerful tool to just ground themselves, to regain some sense of inner calm and control.
So less mental time traveling equals less stress.
Mm.
I can definitely see how that would free up some mental energy.
Oh.
Does it help with focus too, or is that separate?
Oh, no, it's intrinsically linked. Enhanced focus and productivity are direct, sort of natural side effects.
Really? How so?
Being present strengthens your ability to concentrate. Simple as that. It helps you filter out distractions, both external and internal. When your mind isn't constantly jumping ahead or dragging you back, you can focus fully on the task right in front of you.
Instead of trying to multitask, which never really works.
Right, that stress-inducing illusion of multitasking, this focused attention is far more effective. So productivity naturally improves. And maybe surprisingly, creativity often gets a boost too.
Why creativity?
Because you're giving your full attention to the present moment, and that's often where new insights or ideas bubble up. Plus, when you practice mindfulness, you're actively engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. Fredrickson's research, the broaden and build model, shows this helps reverse the stress response and actually expands your cognitive capacity, makes you more open.
Wow. So less stress, more focus, potentially more creativity. That's quite a combo. What about our emotions? Does it make us less reactive, maybe?
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really, really interesting, I think. It boosts emotional intelligence and self-appreciation.
How does that work?
When you're more attuned to the present, you become much more aware of your own emotions and your physical reactions as they're happening. You start to notice that tightness in your stomach when anger flares up, or maybe the flutter in your chest when anxiety hits, but you notice it earlier, maybe more subtly.
Okay, so you catch it sooner.
Exactly. And that awareness gives you a crucial pause. It enables you to navigate your feelings more effectively, to maybe respond with a bit more calm instead of just reacting impulsively. You start to cultivate self-compassion because you're not judging yourself so harshly for feeling what you feel.
Back to that non-judgmental piece.
Yes. And with less judgment comes more self-esteem, a renewed appreciation for yourself, flaws and all, because you're less caught up in that critical selfing story. This deeper self-awareness naturally leads to more mindful, more measured choices in how you interact with the world.
It really sounds like a fundamental upgrade to your inner operating system.
That's a great way to put it.
Are there physical benefits too? Or is it mostly mental and emotional?
Oh, there are definitely physical benefits, and they can be quite tangible. Mindfulness can have profound physical health benefits.
Such as?
Well, it helps relax your body. It actively reduces those stress responses in the nervous system we talked about. And that, in turn, can help lower blood pressure, lower your heart rate.
Wow.
Yeah. It can significantly improve sleep quality for many people. There's even evidence suggesting it can strengthen your immune system. It all contributes to potentially higher energy levels and just better physical health overall.
It's truly holistic then.
It really is. It's a practice that benefits your entire being, mind, body, everything, right down to your cells.
Okay, the benefits are undeniable.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want richer relationships, less stress, better focus, more emotional intelligence, even better physical health? It sounds amazing.
Right.
But here's the thing. Actually living in the moment can feel like an impossible luxury sometimes. In this world of constant pings and notifications and relentless demands, it's definitely easier said than done.
I hear you. It can feel that way.
So for the listener right now, whose mind feels like a runaway train, what are the practical, actionable steps? What can they do right now, today, to start cultivating this presence?
You're right. The how is absolutely crucial. And the good news is it's not about grand, complicated gestures. It's about small, consistent shifts. The first and maybe the most accessible tool is using your breath as an anchor.
Okay, the breath.
Your breath is always with you, right? It's a constant, immediate connection to the present moment. You don't need any special equipment. You can simply focus on the rhythm of your breath, maybe the sensation of the cool air coming in through your nose, the warm air going out.
Just noticing it.
Just noticing. And a simple but really powerful technique you can try is square breathing.
Square breathing.
Yeah, it's easy. You inhale slowly for a count of 4, you hold your breath gently for 4, you exhale slowly for 4, and then you just rest, empty lungs, for 4. Then repeat.
Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, rest 4.
Okay. Exactly. It immediately diverts your attention from whatever thoughts are racing around, and it physically grounds you. It helps activate that calming parasympathetic nervous system we mentioned.
I love how simple that is. You literally always have your breath with you.
Exactly. It's your portable anchor. And this technique was actually vital for someone I know who faced a really stressful dentist appointment, major anxiety about it.
Oh, I can relate to that.
Right. So instead of letting the dread take over, they consciously used square breathing and some simple visualization. They just closed their eyes, focused on the breath, let their body sink into the chair, and mentally pictured their happy place. Really focused on the details there.
And did it work?
They said they were so calm they could barely even hear the dentist's questions at times. By anchoring in those small, present details, the breath, the visualization, their mind had less space to spin those what-if disaster scenarios. Their nervous system genuinely calmed down. It's a great example of using a simple tool in a high-stress situation.
That's amazing. Okay, so breath is key. What else?
Another really powerful one is connecting with nature. Spending time outdoors is incredibly grounding for most people. And you don't need a massive hike in the wilderness. A park bench works. Even just sitting by a window and really observing the sky or a tree can make a difference.
What should you focus on?
Immerse yourself in the sensory experience. Notice the sights, the way the light hits the leaves, the sounds, the birds chirping, the wind rustling, the smells damp earth after rain, maybe cut grass. This natural input helps pull your awareness away from that internal chatterbox.
I definitely feel that shift when I step outside. It just kind of resets something,
It really does. And then you can bring this awareness into everyday things. That's mindfulness in daily rituals.
Like what kind of rituals?
Think about routine activities you usually rush through on autopilot. Washing dishes, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, even just waiting in line at the grocery store.
Okay, so how do you make those mindful?
You deliberately pay attention to the sensations, the physical movements, the sounds involved. Feel the warmth of the water on your hands as you wash dishes. Notice the texture of the soap. Feel the bristles of the toothbrush against your gums. Hear the sound of the water in the shower. It transforms these mundane, often rushed tasks into deliberate moments of presence.
I've heard people talk about mindful eating too. Is that similar? Really savoring your food instead of, wolfing it down while scrolling on your phone?
Precisely. Mindful eating is a fantastic practice. It means putting away the distractions, phone, TV, work, and truly savoring your food.
Oh, what do you focus on?
Focus on your senses. Notice the vibrant colors on your plate. Take in the distinct aromas before you even take a bite. Pay attention to the varied textures in your mouth, the complex tastes. Try to appreciate each mouthful without judgment, without restriction, thinking, I shouldn't eat this. It's not about dieting. It's about really experiencing the nourishment, a deep connection.
Okay, that sounds doable and probably more enjoyable.
It often is. Then there's actively cultivating gratitude and joy. This one's powerful. Maybe start a simple gratitude journal.
What do you write in it?
A few times a week, just jot down maybe 5 specific things you're genuinely grateful for and see them as gifts, not just things you expect. The more detailed, the better. So not just coffee, but maybe the warmth of my coffee cup in my hands this morning.
The specificity makes it more real.
Exactly. And alongside that, maybe create a joy list, just a list of things, big or small, that genuinely bring you happiness, a song, a walk, talking to a friend, a certain food, and then intentionally try to integrate at least one of those joys into your day, every day if possible.
I like that. Actively scheduling joy.
Why not? This gratitude and joy practice really helps broaden your perspective. It activates that broaden and build thing we mentioned by focusing your attention on positive emotions.
It shifts your focus instantly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like training your brain to scan for the good stuff instead of just the problems.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And don't underestimate the power of creative mindfulness.
Creative, like art.
It doesn't have to be high art. Engaging in repetitive hands-on crafts can be deeply meditative. Things like coloring mandalas, those intricate patterns, or knitting, sculpting with clay, even simple doodling during a meeting.
How is that mindful?
These activities often demand focused attention, but in a gentle way. The repetitive motions can be very soothing, allowing for deep relaxation. It tends to lower your heart rate, improve your mood. It's a structured way to quiet the mind's constant planning, rehashing, and worrying.
Interesting. A different kind of focus.
Exactly. And finally, for anyone feeling unsure where to even begin with all this, leveraging guided practice is invaluable.
Guided meditations, you mean?
Yes. There are tons of apps now, Headspace, Calm, Insight Timer, lots of free resources on YouTube too. These guided meditations are excellent for helping you focus your attention and cultivate that sense of calm. Having a gentle voice guide you back when your mind inevitably wanders can be incredibly helpful, especially at the start.
Okay, those are fantastic tips. Really practical and accessible. Do you have any maybe powerful stories, anecdotes that really illustrate these practices making a difference for people? Real stories of finding that inner freedom you mentioned.
Oh, absolutely. There are so many, but a few stand out. Consider the story of someone who started exploring mindfulness from a place of really significant, quite debilitating anxiety. They described their life before as being completely consumed by anxiety, just pervasive.
Wow, that's so tough.
It was. But through consistent practice meditation, bringing awareness into daily life, they reported, and I love how they put it, that their anxiety was eventually subdued to the point where I actually stopped giving a shit.
That's a very direct way of saying it worked.
Isn't it? It speaks volumes about the shift in relationship to the anxiety. It didn't necessarily vanish forever, but it lost its power, its grip. There's another story, someone building an online business facing a flare-up of depression, which was really challenging, but they credited meditation immensely, saying they would not be making the progress I am without that practice.
So it gave them resilience.
Exactly. These practices provided the resilience, that inner calm needed to navigate huge challenges. It really illustrates that monitor and acceptance theory we touched on. By learning to observe their difficult emotions, monitoring, without judgment, acceptance, they could respond differently, more effectively.
It sounds like it gave them back a sense of control, maybe,
Yeah.
or agency over their inner state, rather than feeling totally overwhelmed.
That's a perfect way to describe it, a sense of agency. And then there's someone else who dealt with really severe anger issues for years. They shared that after about 10 years of consistent meditation practice, they felt they had finally conquered this issue.
10 years is dedication.
It is, but the change was so profound that apparently everyone around them noticed it too. It wasn't just an internal shift.
That's incredible.
And one more, maybe slightly different angle. A 16-year-old student started meditating regularly. Interestingly, they didn't personally notice a huge dramatic shift in how composed they felt during their final exams.
Oh, so it didn't work.
Well, wait for it. Their classmates and teachers did notice. They consistently remarked on how remarkably calm and de-stressed the student seemed during high-pressure tests compared to others and compared to their previous self.
Wow. So the effects were noticeable externally even before the student fully registered them internally.
Exactly. It's a testament to the sometimes subtle yet incredibly powerful impact mindfulness can have. A quiet internal transformation that kind of blossoms outward, sometimes seen by others first.
That's fascinating. This has been such an insightful deep dive, really. We've explored what mindfulness truly means, getting past the hype to this idea of intentional, non-judgmental presence, right here, right now.
That awareness.
And we've seen the profound benefits. I mean, richer relationships, genuinely less stress and anxiety, better focus, boosted emotional intelligence, and even those tangible physical health improvements.
It covers a lot of ground.
Really nice.
And I think the key lesson, the thread running through all these practices and stories, is pretty clear. It's about consistent, compassionate practice. Even small moments count, adding them up day after day.
It's not about achieving perfection overnight.
Not at all. It's about persistence, not perfection. And those small moments, they incrementally compound over time. It's like building a muscle. This leads eventually to a more lasting sense of calmness, maybe more joy, and ultimately what feels like a profound inner freedom.
Yeah.
It really transforms not just what you do, but how you fundamentally are in the world, your way of being.
Beautifully put. And, John Kabat-Zinn, who you mentioned earlier, he wisely suggests that the question is much more important than the dime store answers we come up with.
I love that quote.
Me too. So maybe the thought to leave everyone with is this.
Yeah.
As you go about your day-to-day, what simple, curious questions about your present moment could you start asking yourself? Little questions to just gently nudge your awareness back here, to unlock your own unique path to greater peace.
And a lovely invitation. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of presence.
Yes, thank you for listening. We really encourage you to take this journey, maybe try one small thing, cultivate your own healthy mindfulness practices one mindful breath at a time. Until next time.